Welcome back to the Wanna Parlay podcast. I'm Lance Bell. Next to me is Jack Neuheisel. Jack, tell the beautiful people watching this about the beautiful company that sponsors this podcast.
As always, the Wanna Parlay podcast is brought to you by the good folks of Wanna Parlay, home of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, where every week people are turning their $2 investment quickly into $2,000. And as always on these Monday shows, we had an awesome week at Wanna Parlay, but we want to recap some of the special players and some of the special wins over the weekend. The main event, the big winner of the weekend, rude as can be, with both a first, Lance, and a second place finish. He goes home with $2,500 this weekend. Had he placed that bet anywhere else, it just would have won him $456. So big time on the house there. Way to go, rude as can be. Hoping he might join us later on in the show. No winner in the pick 7. Pick 6, our boy Dialed Picks wins 400 versus the 196. He would otherwise would have won place in anywhere other place outside of Wana. And Lance, if that wasn't enough, the guy also won that same contest on Saturday and also came in second. And just to pile it up, he also came in third in the main event. So my man rattled off $1,450 this week, which brings his grand total on Wanna Parlay up over $7,000. It is good to be good, Dialed Picks. People, watch him. Do as he does. As our Mike Feehan said last week, take your girl to Cabo, for God's sakes. Get rolling. Dialed Picks is lapping us all right now in the field. Pick 5, another no stranger to the leaderboard. Broccoli 11 wins $300. Would have only netted 158. So good, up a 142 on the house there. And then the pick 4, Jay Blaze wins 250 versus the 127. He otherwise would have won. So congratulations to all of our winners. But rude as can be, man. Showing off. I've got more to say about him here in a second, but I also want to remind the folks the VIP contest is open and remains open this whole week. It's going to close December 1st. Best thing Wanna Parlay or anyone else for that matter is offering in the space right now. Contest costs you just $2 to enter, and winner will receive 2 all expenses paid tickets to the Wanna Parlay Suite in Arrowhead to watch Justin Herbert and the Chargers travel to Kansas City to take on Taylor Swift and the Chiefs this December 8th. That thing's going to close again December 1st. Get yourself in there. Currently, Dialed Picks, the menace to society that he is winning that contest with a 49.57. But people, I promise you that number is not going to hold on. It's still very much anyone's game. Why shouldn't it be yours? Go over to Wanna Parlay right now and throw $2 on the opportunity of a lifetime. Lance, did you hear me right, by the way, when I brought up rude as can be?
Dude, rude as can be has just the perfect username because what a rude little bastard. He just comes in here and wins 2,500 with the first and second place in the main event.
First and second on the main event. My boy from Stockton, California, my boy Ron, out here slaying. Let me run through this parlay really quick, Lance, because it's just a thing of beauty. And he did have a little sweat there to make it fun, which is what we're really paying for at the end of the day. Anytime you place down, it's just the experience and a little bit of a chance to say, I told you so. But rude as can be here, okay? Starts out easy. Rams -4 at Patriots. A little sweaty there in the fourth, but ultimately covers no problem. Matthew, not Matt, Stafford, over 1.5 touchdowns. Covered midway through the second to no else but Puka Nacua. Easy one there. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown. How many times do we have to say it on the show? Add it to every single one of your parlays. Hits in the first half because, of course, it does. Miami money line over the Raiders. This Raiders team, to be continued. What the hell are we doing? Vikings money line versus the Titans. Will Levis, and yet the Vikes roll anyway. Win by 10 in that game. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the Lions freaking Jacksonville game. Anytime touchdown. That one hits in the second. Easy cover. He actually had 2 on the day. Easy money across the board. That same game, Jared Goff going over 232 yards passing. Well, how's 412 sound, Lance? Sounds pretty good to me. Easiest cover on the board here. And then he took the other side, Mac Jones under 193.5 yards passing. Mac Jones produces a noble, a brave, might I say, 138. And you want to sit there and laugh, Lance. It's 138 more than you ever threw. And by the way, you're the idiot that had the Jags in this game, taking the dogs in all those mornings games. A lot to be discussed there as well. And then the one that really he had to get sweat, Jordan Love over 229 yards passing. The guy had 261, but let's go back and look how he got it. He only had 153, Lance, going into the fourth. Only had 2 completions, by the way, in the fourth quarter. They just so happened to be one for 48 yards and the other for a little bit of a controversial 60 that had to go to challenge and review. Did the ground assist? You know, we're not here to play God. Ultimately, congratulations to Rude as Can Be, who delivered that first leading parlay and also the second place finish to go home with 2,500 real American dollar bills this weekend. Congrats, Rude as Can Be. Go get after our boy Dialed Picks. He's a menace to society. And Steel Curtain, don't think we forgot about you. I'm coming for your fucking lunch money, man.
Dude,
and that's pretty much.
That Jordan Love stat, how he had 153 going into the fourth and throws 2 more completions and easily clears the over. Like, that's just your day. Like, that's Rude as Can Be. Yesterday was your day. Not only was it God's day, it was your day.
Those are things you only notice when you're actually gambling on it. But then you go watch it back and you go look at that and you're like, ooh, man, that was a good little sweat there for a guy. And that was the last one of the day. He had all morning games there. I assume he had plans to put some afternoon action down. But pretty unbelievable. I just got a text from Kevin G, by the way. Trying to see what he's up to.
Kevin G, the man.
Yeah.
The man, the myth.
He's got Chris Chelios on his way over to Little Joe's right now in Chicago, who hockey fans. Chris Chelios is one of the trusted voices in the NHL sports media on every night there for NHL Tonight. And then also a Hall of Fame career in his own right for the Blackhawks. So there's a back alley chance if you're watching right now, stay tuned. We might get Chelly to come on and talk some real hockey facts here with us.
Wow, that'd be incredible. I'd definitely just have my tail tucked between my legs since we outsource our information to just a random Canadian kid. But hey, so stay tuned. I mean, that what?
By the way, if Sport's going to be ready, let's have Sport fend off against this guy. Make sure just put him up.
Yeah.
Sport chance. You're going up against the actual GOAT right now. Go ahead and take it.
Well, Sport did say he might be able to make it towards the back end of this show, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. We're an open book right now. But Rude as Can Be, that 9-legger, I mean, God, it just looks beautiful. There's a couple. The Mac Jones under, I mean, that could have always gotten sketchy with the big blowout in garbage time, but just never happened. We'll go. Honestly, we're gonna go into a lot of NFL games when we go to my bets over the weekend. So, would you like to start on accountability time?
Yeah, always a good time for accountability on Monday. As a group, I should say, we did go combined win. You made money if you took all 11 or all however many picks you had. You had 12. So all 7. If you took all 17 of our picks, we did go 10-6 or 10, whatever the hell. No, help me out here. We went 9-8. We went 9-8.
Yeah, I was like, wait, 10-6. That's way too good for me.
We went 9-8 across all of our 17 picks. And what a stupid thing to say. Here's our 17 picks, and then I just picked 2 numbers that add up to 16. Ridiculous. But I go 3-2 in college football. Feels like it should have been 4-1. I'm one abnormal punt away from going 4-1. That BYU game gets a little freaky on me, and then they don't have the balls to cover it late. And then Utah's on me. That's stupid. Colorado's joined a list with me with Miami, where they can score in bunches so quick that they're just a tough team to bet on. I don't think they're as good as their ranking would suggest. I think Colorado's done everything they've been asked to do. It's just kind of an average Big 12. I don't buy them. I still think they're kind of fraudulent a little bit, but fuck, not betting against them anymore until we get to the playoffs, which it looks like they're basically the lock for. They're going to have to beat BYU in that one. But we'll go through them quick. Tulane -7 at Navy. That was the lock of the century. That one should have been discussed more, and we should have grouped more money together and gotten all that. That one was easy. Tulane is who we thought they were. They're the best group of 5 team, and I think that includes Boise State, but obviously Tulane stretched a little bit on their non-conference and played Kansas State and Oklahoma this year, so you get what you get. But a good win there to start the day. Utah +11 actually was trying hard to backdoor this game the whole way. We got a timely fumble, looked like we were going in, and then a pick, quick 7 the other way, and then a defensive touchdown later. And then there was a little stat padding. There was some bullshit that makes this bet look even worse. There was a Travis Hunter touchdown thrown in there late to add to the Heisman campaign. But nonetheless, bad bet. We take our losses. We start the day 1-1. Illinois -3, piece of cake for the reasons we thought. QB and defense were better. I thought we were on this game for the right reasons. Covered easily. Big time one there. South Florida. The book actually went against me late here. Vegas faded me. This line, you could have gotten South Florida plus a point. at game time. I got this at -2.5 on Thursday. And so people bet this one hard on Charlotte, which for the life of me, I could not see. Again, we pointed out pregame, Charlotte had not won a game in over a month. And USF has looked good against shitty American Conference teams. They cover that one super easily. And they ended up being dogs going into that one at game time. So the road dogs kicked that ass right there. And then the last one of the day that absolutely just offends me to my core, BYU -2.5 versus Kansas. We're up 4, going to get the ball back. We force the punt, and a punt near the sideline goes off our fucking gunner and ends up with a short field there for Kansas on the 3. They score 2 plays later, and BYU never reclaims the lead. So tough way to lose that bet. Would otherwise felt like really smart decision. BYU doesn't even jeopardize. They still look like a lock for the Big 12 championship. So it's going to be BYU, Colorado. And I will be taking Colorado most likely on that action, Lanny. Neutral site, especially. BYU not in Provo. Colorado rolling the way they are. That's a Colorado one for me. So that was my 3-2 effort. And then you go 6-6 chasing freaking rainbows out there with a freak show policy. Walk me through it. You want to go game by game?
Yeah, I'm gonna go game by game because I there's a lot to talk about, and I just want to share my feelings and emotions that really came out at the end of these games. So yeah, went 6-6 with the Sunday Night Football Chargers, whatever the hell that game was. But yeah, let's start from the beginning. First game, Patriots +5 versus Rams. That one I was okay with. Being a Rams fan, I just wanted the Rams to win. That's all it mattered. Patriots technically had a chance down there at the end to go down and honestly win the game, but couldn't get it done. So we'll take it. Whatever. That's a loss. 0-1.
Stop fading your own teams. You're creating bad juju.
Hey, I had
to be ever betting against the ponies? Absolutely not.
Hey, I had to follow the method. It was a strict method. And hey, it brought me back to limbo and kept me alive. So let's keep going. Colts +4 at Jets. This just felt great to be on the other side of the Jets. Jets have failed us multiple times this year. So rest in piss, Jets. Rest in piss, your career, Aaron Rodgers. Retire, hang it up. You can't move anymore. You're not the same. It's over.
If I had any balls or confidence, Lance, this would have been a mortgage bet for me. When I see that line, I feel like Vegas is up to something, and it freaks me out. Over and over again, the Jets are getting these whack job lines that have not been close all year. They're a bad team. They're really bad.
It just doesn't make sense.
So good spot to be on there with the Colts. Anthony Richardson, good for him coming back and getting a win. Good stuff there.
And he played great. Probably one of the best games of his career.
It's big time.
Yeah, so good for him. Steelers +3 versus Ravens. I mean, we loved this one outside of the method. The Steelers, whenever they're a dog, we like to take them. They always like to crash other people's dreams, but once there's any reliance on them, that's when they disappoint you. So they did their job. They actually won the game with no touchdowns, Jack, which is pretty bizarre. I don't remember many times seeing Lamar Jackson losing that type of way.
This game was the gift of the day. Justin Tucker misses 2 field goals. They don't get the 2-point conversion at the end to tie it up. They definitely were going to win in overtime because the Steelers offense wasn't doing shit there late. And if they win the toss, they weren't only getting 3 anyway. So it would have been Lamar Jackson with a chance to win it late. The Steelers needed this game to end badly. Congrats on the win, but this is the one gift you got in your 12-game slate here. This was a gift.
But this is classic Steelers. Like they just somehow snuck away with the cover and win, and they just move on to the next week.
Classic Steelers and classic Ravens. I don't know why Lamar Jackson isn't Lamar Jackson against the Steelers.
I think that was either the 4th or 5th time he's ever played the Steelers in his career, because of injuries and sitting out at the end of games of the season. Isn't that bizarre? A team he should play 2 times a year. That's only his 4th or 5th time playing them in his career.
Fascinating.
So moving on. Titans +6 versus Vikings. You were talking about that. I was pissed. The Titans defense played great at the second or later in the second half of that game, forced 3 punts, giving you opportunities to at least backdoor cover, make it a game. Couldn't get it done. You're pathetic, miserable. Will Levis, you're like, come on, man. Like you gotta at least score a touchdown and make it a game. At least let them win the game on you rather than not even giving your team an opportunity. But yeah.
we're yet to figure out the rhythm of Will Levis and figure out the spots where, because he's always going to be himself. The question is, are you going to catch him on a hot night or catch him on one of those really fun kind of freak show games? And then this game, we kind of get none of it. It was ultra conservative, a lot of just getting off the field. He only had the one pick, and it came super late in the game when they're throwing the ball away anyway, like kind of an inconsequential interception. So overall, it was like, yeah, stop putting the reins on my boy Will Levis. He is the guy you drafted. You're going to get a new quarterback in 2 years anyway. Let's have fun with him in the meantime. It's the only way you're going to win. Going into this, Lance, Sunday morning, scoured the picks and was looking for my favorite morning pick. I had myself all the way talked into the Titans were going to win this game. And so I had a lot of money on the +6. And to your point, was just nothing but frustrating because the Titans defense played well enough. We had our chances on offense. And Will Levis was shit. The whole thing was shit.
It's just brutal. Like, especially when it's like chance after chance. Like, they forced 3 punts in that. I think it was like the 4-minute mark, before 3-minute mark in the third quarter. From there on out, after the Vikings got their last field goal, they punt, and just couldn't capitalize. Just fucking pathetic. So. Whatever, that's too much time to give the time and attention to give Will Levis and the Titans.
Well, and it's about to get a whole lot worse when you get to these next 2 games.
Yeah. Browns +1 at Saints. We were victim to a Taysom Hill masterclass. Tough.
Can I present an argument?
Yep.
You actually, if you were just following the system, got screwed on this because you made your pick on a Thursday. This line actually flipped and was Saints -1 at the start of the game.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was Saints.
Excuse me. Saints +1 at the start of the game. The Browns flipped to the favorite side.
You see, things like that is just tough. That's tough about the Thursday show, making picks then. I mean...
Yeah, just I'm trying to give yourself a little credit here. If you blindly followed that flips that's a 2-game swing on your record right there. You go to 7-5 rather than 6-6, and that's a winner.
Yeah,
that's a winner,
and that's a successful week. And I'm fist bumping, but instead they started with whatever line. But I mean, these are just bad versus bad. Like, it's just who knows.
Let me say this too. I'm done being sold, and not to make it political, but like COVID, for instance, was an eye opener for me. Where it's like I'm just done being told something that my eyes are telling me otherwise. Okay, the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. I knew that thing was gonna fucking suck, and then I went and spent money on Tyson, and within 5 seconds was like, oh yeah, that is a 58-year-old man in there. Why am I even watching this shit? That thing sucked, and this is just another one of them times where I've sold myself on Jameis Winston this year because I thought the interview after Deshaun Watson goes down was outstanding. I thought some of the mic'd up moments were great. We talked about how it's rare you see a guy truly like max out his potential and live his best life, and he appears to be doing that. And so I talked myself into this return game for Jameis Winston. I bet a ton on this game too. That fucking guy can't play. It's done. I've made my decision. That's what it is.
I can't. Jack, you are beautiful. I mean, Titans +6. You talk yourself into the Browns. I mean, you are talented. You have a way with words, even in your own head.
It's a real bummer being me. It's a real bummer. I can talk myself into just about anything. You want to see a guy fuck up an order at a restaurant? Just put the word risotto anywhere on the menu and watch me fucking spin for 20 minutes. Nothing about this plate looks good, but God, I do like a bite of risotto. Maybe I can't know, but I'm a fucking idiot I am.
Oh my God. But yeah, hey, Tim, I mean, congratulations to Taysom Hill. I think he's like 34 now, and he's still out there, just the Swiss Army knife of football.
So everyone needs to take a page from Taysom Hill here. And we brought it up a couple weeks ago on the show, but everybody loves to, when you're the dual threat quarterback coming out of college, to just totally turn your nose up at the concept that maybe you do something aside from being a franchise quarterback. Maybe you could be a productive NFL player, like everyone talked about. And then obviously this has got roots in bigger stuff. There's been racist arguments against dual threat quarterbacks for a while and stuff like that. So I'm not blind to the history and the context of the conversation. But how many guys would be fantastic if they would just go duplicate Taysom Hill's career? Justin Fields would be a legit 25+ mil a year guy. if he would be willing to play multiple positions. If we could give him a 7 carries out of the backfield, throw him 4 passes, and let him do 5 to 10 plays from the quarterback position a game, that to me is a ultimate weapon and the kind of team that a Super Bowl team would cultivate together. If the Steelers could get going on that, I think all of a sudden Najee Harris looks like a guy. I think all of a sudden everything makes sense. More people should be like Taysom Hill. What a football player this guy is. Here lies a ball player, in the words of Bo Jackson. What a guy.
But that's another thing. I feel like a lot of these quarterbacks have egos, Jack. Taysom Hill kind of dropped his ego and just became the dual threat and Swiss Army knife. But Justin Fields, he's not going to go hit a linebacker. He's not going to go play football. He's got an ego. He's been a pretty boy his whole life, being the star quarterback. Not trying to diss him or anything, because I would too if I was a star quarterback, was king of Ohio State and made it to a Fiesta Bowl. I just don't see a world where he tries to go down and get in a 3-point stance and go block a linebacker.
So here's an argument, or at least a question for an argument. Whose career would you rather have? Would you rather be Josh McCown or Taysom Hill?
It's a great question. Do you want me to answer? I'll answer. I'd rather be Cade McCown.
Or Josh McCown.
Josh McCown, sorry.
And be a career 20-year backup quarterback.
A lot of money, no CTE.
The CTE is an interesting thing to levy. You're soft and didn't play tackle football until high school, so that's on you.
No, but you see what I'm saying? Like, some of these guys, I mean, if you've been what you've been, like Justin Fields isn't that mad being a backup on the Steelers. He's making I think still off his rookie contract money.
Let me give you another example. Cordell Stewart. Cordell Stewart was originally Taysom Hill in the NFL. And then in his later years, he became kind of like a Geno Smith, kind of like the 30th quarterback in the league, was the quarterback for a shitty Bears team.
Yeah.
Was good enough to be that guy, but was not good enough to be a playoff guy. So you're not, my point being is, what's the ceiling for Justin Fields as on his current trajectory? And to me, it's, you're praying someone gives you the Baker Mayfield deal or the Carson Wentz deal, and you get to go be the quarterback for a 2-year rental for a team in transition. And maybe you carve out a freak show wild card run in that front and do that. But I don't even think, if I'm being honest, I don't see it. I feel like he was the quarterback for that team, and it was the Bears. Now, maybe the problem's been Matt Eberflus the whole time. Maybe that's been the problem, because Caleb Williams isn't succeeding either. But you had a totally viable roster with that Bears team, and you went 7 wins with it. Like,
Justin Fields is so tough. It's so tough because, like, yeah, do I have my thoughts about him? And I never, even coming out of Ohio State, I thought he was just going to be another Ohio State quarterback that's not successful in the NFL. But his only sample size is on, the fucking Bears, the most dysfunctional organization since '85. And now this, like, a couple games with the Steelers, whose offense wasn't all that impressive either this year. I mean, they've kind of been carried by their defense, and they play mistake-free football and try to play time of possession and punts and things like that. But there was no dynamic players on that offense, and so it's like, I don't know what to think about Justin Fields. Would you, if you were a GM of like the Seahawks, would you give him a chance over Geno?
No.
Or like where would you take Justin Fields? Like, what team in the NFL? If you were the Cowboys, do you just get rid of Dak and go get Justin Fields? That's the tough part.
The team that, if they would just embrace my philosophy here and find a new position for this guy to play, it's going to end up being the Chiefs, and fucking everybody else is dumb.
I see, that would be hilarious if he somehow got to the Chiefs. Andy Reid comes up with this package that he's in, and it's like lights out.
Hey, Lance, who did Andy Reid sign when he had Pro Bowl quarterback Donovan McNabb? He signed Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Just saying, friends.
Dude, I mean, that's a damn good point. Damn. I'm done with the Justin Fields nonsense. It's a great conversation. We'll have it another time, but I want to keep going down this list.
that was a 10-minute Taysom Hill tangent. I'm sorry I did it to us. No more tangents. Speed through.
All right. So Jags plus 14 at Lions. Jag, do you think there's a valid argument for this team should have been plus 21.5 or an even larger line? Or I know the game result. I know the game result, but I'm saying like legitimately odds makers, should they have had this line bigger?
My buddies who do the kind of, the insider gambling, not the betting on narratives, just purely betting on the numbers and analytics and all that stuff. There are some overwhelming stats on double-digit NFL spreads, the favorite covering those numbers. And traditionally, just like the easy explanation for all that, and you'll see it a lot with unders that come in at like 31 or overs that come in at like 63 in the NFL, where, when they're that far outside the norm, I think for the most part, Vegas actually wants to go higher. They have to rein it in so they can put a number that's a little bit more realistic for that people can deal with so that the money is balanced out. If they end up putting what the book actually wants to put, you're going to end up with a one-sided kind of money proposition, and then all of a sudden you're exposed, which isn't something Vegas likes to do, right?
Oh.
You want to balance the money and take the vig, and that's how they stay profitable. So I think sometimes when you see these numbers where it's like, what the fuck is that number? It's the biggest spread we've had in the NFL season so far. I think sometimes just go, it actually should be bigger. They're walking this thing back. Just trust the big number and go with it.
Interesting. Actually, that was good. That was good info there, Jack. Thank you.
Hey,
I'm gonna keep that. I'm actually gonna keep that in mind from now on. I mean, that was actually good. But yeah, no, Jags pathetic. Lions right back into motion. But I will say the Goff Glazers are back. I just heard on the McAfee show they talked about the MVP and Jared Goff in the same sentence, and I'm not having it. He's not an MVP, and honestly, I don't think he's going to win a Super Bowl in his career. Yeah, I'm saying it. I don't think the Lions can get it done with Jared Goff at the helm. I'm just going to say it right now. So mark my words. You should probably bet Lions Super Bowl. All right, here we go. Next one, Bears +5 versus Packers. Bears should have won. That's the sad part of this, because I was actually, rooting for Caleb. He looked a lot better. The firing out of coordinator, I don't know how much that actually does, but whoever was calling plays was calling quicker ones. He was getting the ball out quick, play a little better. But ultimately, shit down your leg on the field goal, and Packers win. So we'll take it. But we still covered. That's the big part of that one. Raiders +7 at Dolphins. Classic pathetic Raiders. They had multiple opportunities to backdoor cover, but they are a sad, sorry franchise. Broncos -2.5 versus the Falcons. Jack, the Broncos look like they own the NFC South. They have just completely throttled the Buccaneers and the Falcons. I can't off the top of my head, I don't remember their Panthers or Saints scores, but just those two, I mean, that's enough for me to say you own the NFC South. What are your thoughts?
I think the Broncos are a very interesting team right now. I think, honestly, they're kind of a fun team to follow, root for, and kind of gamble on right now. This team I'm a little bit high on and obsessed with because they made me all my money back yesterday. This is one I peeked at again. I got fucked up trying to follow your advice in the morning and then had to go find a get me right game in the afternoon. 82% of the public or something like that was betting on the Falcons in this game. I just went, nope, going with Lanny and the Broncos here. And yeah, against the mid-level teams this year, they've looked significantly better. And credit to Sean Payton, a lot of that's just been like culturally and like in the spots that matter in the trenches and on their defense. They've looked great. And Bo Nix might be a little bit better than an athletic Mac Jones, which is basically what I thought he was. He might be a little bit better than that. We'll see.
Dude, he looks pretty good. They look like they execute, and they actually get they execute every play.
Yeah, he doesn't have the shit that Drew Brees had for me, and we need to cool it on those comps. Drew Brees is one of the better kind of mid-level throwers of all time and better guys at throwing with timing. But he does have that like great like kind of Tony Romo thing where he's extremely athletic within the pocket. He gets the ball out on time. A lot to like here. A lot of stuff to be excited about if you're a Broncos fan. This really felt like a whiff for 5 games, which is no good. You don't want to be drafting up there, making a habit of drafting up there. this is a guy. Yeah, why not take a run at it? You got a good defense. Take an off season, get yourself some skill position players, and let's roll.
Yeah, no, and awesome for Papa, who's a huge Oregon Duck fan. They Saturday night were just making the stupidest Bo Nix only parlays, and they actually did fucking phenomenal because he actually balled out. So good for them.
Well, let me pump Papa's brakes and remind everybody of Bo Nix's 0-2 against Washington last year, and just say
you're evil. You're evil.
Before you get too high on my guy, there's going to be a meaningful game he will lose this year. Just FYI. So just be prepared for that.
I will say I was at that Pac-12 championship. The ref being in the way of that third down conversion, it changed the game, Jack. The game was completely. It was never the same. The ref played. It was the 12th defender. It was. It changed everything. Everyone in the crowd. I mean, it like took the air out of the entire stadium. Everyone just like, oh, what? What just happened?
Loser talk from a loser institution is what it sounds like to me.
Okay, we're moving on. 49ers minus 6.5 versus Seahawks. Geno actually came through. Good for him. Good for them. And I honestly, as a Rams fan, I wanted the Seahawks to win because now the bottom three teams are tied at 5-5 while the Cardinals are 6-4. It's a wild, wild west, Jack. And that scramble, I mean, it looked a little like Vince Young back in the day. I mean, that was a good scramble. That was good stuff. Bills -2 versus Chiefs. Bills Mafia's pumped, Jack. We will see them in Cancun after the AFC Championship, but good for them. Moving on to the last one, Chargers -1.5 versus the Bengals. This game was hilarious. A classic Chargers choke and somehow a classic Bengal blunder mix in for Chargers win, and Joe Burrow and that Cincinnati group just looking sad and disappointed. Joe Burrow's on an absolute tear this year and has nothing to show for it when it comes to the win column. Jamar Chase as well. It's just tough, sad.
It's really sad. It's a scout team defense playing over there in Cincinnati right now. And in a season, talk about another guy playing well. Trey Hendrickson's having a great year. I think he leads the league in sacks. You got a star quarterback, you got a productive running back, you have top 2 probably receiver in the league right now, and you've got Trey Hendrickson, who's going to be on a short list for defensive player of the year. And you're already out of the playoff race in the middle of November.
Yeah, you basically have to win out for a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's really a bummer because I think, unfortunately, this is the end of Jamar Chase's time in Cincinnati.
He got the big deal, though. T. Higgins is out. He's the franchise tag. T. Higgins
is going to be out. Did they end up getting the Jamar Chase deal done? I thought that was still pending.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe they only got something done for this season, so they get like. I think you actually might be right. Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, he demanded the.
Oh wait, we got KG Little Joe's in the chat. Hold on, let me pause you for 1 second. You were talking about Jamar Chase demanding, but KG Little Joe says interesting trend. When an offensive coordinator or head coach is fired, the following week the team covers at a 70% clip. Not wins, but covers, whether favored or underdog. That was that was a trend when we were talking more head coach. We never really got into the coordinators, but we were talking more head coaches when they get fired. That's usually when we hammer them the next week. Same with quarterback changes. We loved that one too. I think we got bit in the ass doing that recently.
Yeah. By the way, we'll be taking FAU this Saturday. It's already on my card for Thursday lock, so just be there. We'll be taking FAU.
Oh, FAU. I love it. Pitbull. Oh, no, that's FIU. Sorry, swing and a miss. Sorry, there's so many.
It was in Boca, and it's awesome, actually. Feel bad for Tom Herman. Good coach. Hate to see him go out that way.
Damn. Well, they're gonna win or cover.
Should we just get to Monday night now? Because we're technically on a winning streak. And
yeah.
You bet the full NFL slate, so I'm curious to see what your NFL play is tonight. Don't you have to play the favorites tonight? Don't you have to go because it's an evening game?
So I will say the method does not go into Monday. I talked to the guy,
okay,
and honestly, the guy's on the same side as me. And now that we're talking about me, I'm just gonna go first. Monday Night Football. Cowboys plus 7.5, folks. I've seen the line move from 7 to 7.5. I don't know what it's officially at right here. Jack, I hate this. I hate this. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be betting on this team. Cooper Rush is going to disappoint me. It's probably going to be a Texans blowout. So honestly, chat, if you're watching this, don't even listen to me. I'm an absolute bozo. But God damn it, I'm going on the Cowboys plus 7.5. There's so much of the public on the Texans. I'm done betting with the public. I might be fading the public for the rest of the season. But I'm taking Cowboys plus 7.5. And other player props I have in this game, over 1.5 passing touchdowns for the opposing team's quarterback, CJ Stroud. Either that or take his over in passing yards at 235.5. Take over 74.5 receiving yards for Nico Collins, because this guy, when he plays, gets damn near 100 every game. Joe Mixon anytime touchdown, and then for the Cowboys, I have CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown, or maybe might sub in Rico Dowdle for that spot at anytime touchdown. But as you can see, and as I can see on Jack's facial expressions, I'm just an absolute clown here because I'm taking the Cowboys plus 7.5. But Jack, those are my Monday Night Football picks. Commence the clowning. Let me hear it.
It's just a freak show. Nothing of what you just said agreed with the other thing. Everything contradicted itself. All of us are now dumber for having listened to what you just rambled on about. First of all, I'll have to take a look at these public numbers because in the NFL, it's actually a hell of a deal. I've been paying attention to it, and it's crazy. If the public gets over 75%, take the other side. It's wild how often it works. So if that's the case, I got to go look and see where I'm wrong.
Right now, 85% of money is on the Texans. 94% is on the Texans.
All the logic says the Texans have to be in a get-right game here. We just blew it against the Lions in a spot we had a chance to get them. Now, granted, they looked like absolute dog shit in that second half. I don't know what's happened. We got a healthy Nico Collins playing. I just don't understand it. I kind of love the Texans -7, and I also like the under 41.5. So I don't understand one goddamn thing you're saying. You're saying Cowboys +7, and then all these individual overs and anytime touchdowns and all sorts of things.
What makes you like the under?
Because I think it's Cowboys offense is trash. They're going to score 13. And then I got the only thing that spooks me against the Texans is it's a get-right game for the Texans offense.
Oh, in the under.
Yeah, everything about this game screams under. You had a Texans offense that just got shut out in the second half of last week, and you got a Cowboys offense that's got whoever the hell playing quarterback, and their only weapon is CeeDee Lamb. Everything about this game is under.
Yeah.
With the exception of, what's his face for the Cowboys, the kicker.
Aubrey
can hit from literally anywhere. Aubrey.
Hey, who knows? That guy might come in clutch tonight. Honestly,
yeah.
Maybe I should take his kicking points.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
Let's
maybe
do that.
Maybe I got to move that in there.
That's offered like every game. Let's go Cowboys over 1.5 field goals. That makes me happy. I like that bet. Let's live in that world. Now we're talking.
Yeah. Hey, I like it. I needed some help. I'm lost. I mean, the fact that I'm taking Cowboys +7.5, Jack, I'm fucking pissed. I'm livid. I don't want to be here. I know, obviously, it's my choice, but
What are you having in NBA land tonight? You got any action over there?
Yeah, I got Rockets +3.5 at Bucks. It's kind of sketch. I'm really just betting on Dame and Giannis won't combine for 70 each, and basically win themselves, because if they don't do that, then they lose basketball games. Jack, it's unbelievable. The Bucks actually need 60 points at least from the duo of Giannis and Dame. If they don't get that, they're cooked.
I love the take. You got a Rockets team that gets production out of 8 separate players playing a team that's got 2 guys and nothing else. You got Udoka, who comes from the Eastern Conference, has studied these guys, has schemed them up plenty of times. I like everything about it. Go Rockets. Next one.
Clippers +5.5. So my theory on this is a lot of the public's on Warriors. That's one. And my second, and to a real take, the Warriors being the team they are, and the shooters and the offense and the flow and the motionless, all that, I feel like the Intuit Dome, this new stadium that the Clippers have, the home stadium advantage, it might throw off some shooting. Makes free throws tough. It might get, the wall, we might get the Warriors a little rattled. So I'm taking Clippers plus 5.5. Then I got a couple player props. Let me just sneak them in. Kuzma over 5.5 rebounds. I like it. And Tyler Hero over 21.5 points. Those two I don't know. They just stood out at me, and I liked them.
No comments on the props. You've been sharp there. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at when it comes to that. Clippers 5.5. When I was scrolling lines, that was my instinct. It was one of my favorite picks. The thing that had me hesitate on it, Clippers are playing on a back-to-back tonight. It's the only thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's overblown or not. I don't know if it is.
Yeah. Maybe. I'm not shifting my bet because of that. Like, I'm gonna stay Clippers 5.5 only because the public being heavy on the Warriors, and I can see a couple reasons how the Clippers might keep it close. Those two keep me on the Clippers.
I don't hate it. Hey, let it rip. I might stay off it, but I won't fade you. I won't go the other way.
There you go. All right, you go. Yeah, you have some reason, hopefully, in these picks. Don't be a fucking maniac like me. All right, let's hear it.
I have the Sunnies plus 3.5. They've been very good this season. They're coming off the absolute fuck you from Julius Randle, who clipped him for 35.
KD and Beal out.
Beal's a game time decision. KD's out.
Oh, I saw Beal out. Let me check. You keep talking. I'll check real quick.
Well, everyone's so soft in the NBA, I guess you never know. But I've been treating game time decisions this whole year, and it's just been following the Lakers a ton as pretty much probables and almost always playing. Anthony Davis is a goddamn game time decision for every game. So I've just been assuming I'm going to get
Beal's out.
Beal's for sure out. Okay, well, you know what then? This is the Suns that Phoenix likes to wrap their arms around anyway. This is the Suns team that got beat in the fucking NBA Finals to the Bucks, and we're up 2-0. This is the Suns team. This is Devin Booker's city, the Valley of the Sun. Give me Devin Booker's over on points and assists tonight. Let's get the Phoenix plus 3.5. What, I'm supposed to fear a Magic team that doesn't have Paulo Banchero going tonight?
That's a great point.
I'm getting Devin Booker at home plus 3.5 against the Magic team lacking their best player. Well, let's see. And you know what? Honestly, it's rare that a lot of these guys on Phoenix get to play this role and go play normal basketball. Everyone's stuck being a 3-and-D guy there when they're rolling out their true star lineup. So let's let some guys get loose tonight. Maybe a Grayson Allen over out there as well.
A little Grayson Allen at masterclass. He just turns into
Grayson Allen, that salty asshole, will pop off for 28 like it's nobody's business.
Actually, you are right. You are right.
Yeah.
He does get a little sneaky there and has a couple tricks up his sleeve. KG Little Joe's in the chat. Bulls, Levine over 2.5 threes against the Pistons. Clippers, Harden over 35.5 PRA against the Warriors. And Phoenix, Booker over 2.5 made threes. No Durant and Beal. Wow. All right, wait, hold on.
Love me Book, and I like Levine. I feel like the Bulls are cultureless and they're settling for shots. I love both those picks.
Okay, so wait, let's get Levine down for over 2.5 threes. Harden 35.5 PRA. Let me get this down here. Harden PRA 35.5. And then the last one, Booker threes.
Harden's on one of the original fuck Steph Curry camps. It's like him and Russell Westbrook are the leaders of that camp. So I buy it.
Hey, we're locked in. We like it. Thank you, KG, for the free locks.
I don't want to lose my camera here, but I did have one NHL pick worth throwing out there.
Wait, you got to get it. You didn't get into your NFL. You only did NBA.
No, I talked it through. I like the Texans, and I got to go figure out why. If the public's really going to be that one-sided against it, I really got to go figure out what the hell I don't see that Vegas is comfortable being that exposed on. And then I do like the under, and then I really like Aubrey's over 1.5 made field goals. I think those are two good, all good spots there. And then that NHL pick, I want to make sure I get out there. Under 1.5 Ducks and Stars.
Under 1.5. Oh, first period. I thought you were saying the whole game. I'm like, Jack, that's fucking brutal. I'm like,
I might do that anyway. Suck my, I'm good.
I'm like, 1.5 in the whole. I actually, like, my heart dropped a little. I was like, what?
Yeah, suck my unders, Lance. Suck my unders.
I'm that. If they win 1-0 tonight, I'm gonna lose it. All right. So yeah, you went in NFL. You got NBA. Oh, you have a little college hoops.
Oh, I did have a college hoops. Okay, so you got to ask yourself right now. You know how, like, when you meet down with like a financial advisor, not that I have enough money to ever have that conversation, but I imagine when you sit down with a financial advisor, they ask you strategically how risky you want to be. Well, if you want to have some fun with me tonight, I'm interested in watching a fun college basketball game, so I'm going to invest in that. I'm going San Diego State plus 9.5 versus Gonzaga. San Diego State just came off a 100-point beatdown over Occidental. Let's have some damn fun with it. This is their Super Bowl game of the year. They get them at home. The Aztecs will be rolling hard. The students will be jamming. I like it. Plus 9.5. And if you don't want to have fun and you suck and you like betting numbers and you like betting better teams, then have it your way and just tease the Zags down to minus 3.5. And then go ahead and grab some of the SMU ponies who are coming in 31.5 tonight, back at home in a bounce back game after losing to Butler on the road. So two different ways to look at that game. I'll be having fun and betting San Diego State. Let's get nuts. But those are my picks for this Monday evening. And then we'll be back, Lance, same time tomorrow, ripping it up, talking ball.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, so I guess we're against each other tonight on our Monday night pick for NFL.
We are at odds. We are indeed at odds.
So one of us will be showing up tomorrow as a winner, and one of us will be showing up as a loser. Jack, who do you think it is?
Well, I've been showing up every place I go as a loser for quite some time now, so I don't know why it would change tomorrow. As I wear I just got done talking about how bad Charlotte is. They haven't won a game in a month. I'm wearing my fucking Charlotte shirt today. I got in this rant last night. I was talking to my buddy. It's like, I love playing. I thought I was a good player. I thought I was a good coach. I've been on nothing but losing teams. Not won one championship. Not won one meaningful thing once in my life. It's getting to be pretty goddamn ridiculous. I'd like to piece off one of these parlays that wins you a couple $1,000, but alas, one of them parlay won't take my money. So I got to outsource it and do it the old-fashioned way.
Oh, the old-fashioned way with the sewer rats in the alley. Oh man, they're mean. They're mean, and they collect on time, Jack. It's freaking brutal.
It's no way to live. It's no way to be.
All right,
Making
Jack.
changes.
You wanna
get right with God?
You wanna lead us out?
Yeah, as always, this show is brought to you by Wanna Parlay, the good folks of Wanna Parlay, home of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, where every week people are turning a mere $2 investment into $2,000 of cold hard American cash. As always, we had an awesome week this week at Wanna Parlay. Great job over the weekend by some big time winners. Special shout outs to Rude as Can Be. We went through his parlay today. Hopefully we get him on the show later this week to talk about not only his first place finish, Lance, in the main event, but also a second place finish and $2,500 extra dollars going in his pocket this weekend. Dialed Picks, the guy who's currently leading the VIP contest, is an absolute baller. Guy won an extra $1,450 this week. It brings his overall winnings at Wanna Parlay well over $7,000. So good Lord, people, start to pay attention, start to figure your own shit out. No, that's what I'm up to these days. Broccoli 11, we've seen him before. We'll see him again. Wins another $300. Would have only won 158 had he placed that bet anywhere else. Jay Blaze, 250 for him versus the 127 he would have made placing that bet anywhere else. So good job to all the winners this week. And then a special reminder that VIP contest remains open. And if you didn't need more incentive, it's Dial Picks currently leading the race right now. So go kick that guy's fucking ass up and down the hallways, stuff him in lockers, whatever we need to do. Get your ass to the Wanna Arrowhead Suite. Dial Picks, we might just have to get you a spot in that suite anyway. The kind of carnage you're racking up here. So appreciate you getting the contest rolling there. That remains open until December 1st. And just a last reminder, we had our boy Kevin G from Chicago, Little Joe's, hitting us up in the chat earlier today. Special reminder, they still have the toy drive going over there in Little Joe's in Chicago. So if you are in the Illinois area, make sure to stop in, say hi to our boy Kevin, and make sure to donate and participate with the toy drive. They've got corporate sponsors matching them for every present that goes in there. They've got people donating boxes, all sorts of stuff. So go participate, help him make sure no child spends Christmas without a gift this year. And that, people, is the Little Joe's podcast. It might as well be the Little Joe's podcast. The Wanna Parlay podcast. He's Lance. I'm Jack. We have fun. We'll see you same time tomorrow, 3:00. Lance, that's the show, babe.
It's been a pleasure, folks. We salute you.